there, welcome back to my channel and welcome back to the last video of today's uploads. And we're going to end it off for all of you talk show hosts, daytime talk show host lovers out there. Apparently there's a little bit of rumbling going on with the Kelly Clarkson show. Now I'm going to be honest with you. Kelly Clarkson, we know she's like a lovely woman. You know, she was an American Idol runner-up or what, number 3 in place. I'm not sure if she's number 2 or number 3. I think she's number 3. I don't remember. Anyways, but she's an American Idol, so that's what a lot of us know her from her start. And, you know, she's really been on that country music scene. I don't know if she did pop. I think it was country, right? Or maybe it was pop. I don't know. But she was doing a little bit of stuff. And there was, you know, some fanfare around her around those times. And so I was kind of surprised when she had sashayed over into talk show. That's not something I necessarily saw for her. Could I see her acting in a movie or TV show or something like that? Probably so. But I didn't see talk show host. So that was a bit interesting for me. But you know, hey, she continued on, and it seemed like her show was being flooded in all different areas because they were definitely determined to see this show succeed, irregardless of what maybe some of us had probably thought initially in regards to this show. So it is a surprise to me that this is coming up now in regards to some potential situations associated with the show. In fact, of looking at maybe Kelly leaving the show and it no longer being the Kelly Clarkson show. And then potentially also there being a list out there of people to replace her. And then also what's now reported is that apparently the staff, and rightfully so, are, you know, in flux, and they're kind of tired of that, and they want to know what the future is of the show, what their future is, right? We're living in very perilous times, and people don't have time for the bull. So we're going to get into it because I am just really shocked that all of the fanfare and push for the show that took place and that we got to see firsthand. I mean, they even moved her from one network to another. I mean, they were determined to make this show work. And I guess at some point it did. I'm not sure if she just made her 100th show or 100,000th show or something to the extent, but there was a celebration that actually was going. And there was some, I guess, some interesting cryptic ways of her speaking during what should have been like a really celebratory statement. Is what it appears. So we're going to go ahead and dive into it. There is 3 parts to this, so sit back, relax, and we're going to go through it all. And I'm definitely interested in knowing your thoughts about what we, you know, go through and discover together here. And yeah, so let's go ahead and get into that. So our first sharing is coming to us by way of Newsbreak and The Independent. And it says here, Kelly Clarkson reportedly keen to quit talk show as NBC fights to keep her. Okay. Kelly Clarkson is reportedly keen to leave her popular talk show behind when her contract expires next year, but network NBC are prepared to fight to keep her. The 42-year-old singer has hosted the Kelly Clarkson show since 2019, and according to Page 6, the Texan star wants to quit in order to spend more time with her children, daughter River Rose, 10, and son Remy, 8. Kelly's number 1 priority is her children, and they always will be, a source told the publication, and so they shall be. The show is grueling. It's a whole lot of work, and I hear that Kelly would like to spend more time down south. However, NBC would like her to renew her contract and stay with the show, which has proven to be a ratings hit. The Independent has approached Clarkson and NBC for comment. Now, last month, apparently Clarkson had raised eyebrows with her comments about personal ups and downs during the 1,000th episode of her eponymous talk show. She celebrated the milestone on March 20th after a lengthy absence of hosting duties. She had returned to the show a few days earlier after being absent for more than a week without explanation. Now, during the episode, she looked back over the 5 years of the show and says, "I cannot believe today marks the 1,000th. It's crazy," she said. "We have met some hugely talented people, tons of big stars, and inspiring everyday heroes." She praised the community she's created on the show and filled with people who support each other through a lot of ups and downs. A lot of ups and downs personally as well, she added, reflecting on how the show has traveled through various locations before settling in New York City. She alluded to the emotional challenges she has had faced throughout her career. Now, for 1,000 episodes, we have laughed together, we have cried together, we have beautiful stories, sang together with some people, danced together, celebrated and competed together. The stronger singer said, "I've lost alone a lot." As the audience laughed at her remarks, she responded, "It's okay," before explaining how her community on the show has found comfort in each other. And looking back, we are all incredibly proud of what we built and the community we've created, she concluded. I am grateful to everyone who has been a part of this journey. It has been such a cool time. Now, during Clarkson's absence, guest co-host or host period, including Brooke Shields, and they also included Molly Sims, Roy Wood Jr., and Willie Geist, who actually took her place for those shows. Now, I am not a Kelly Clarkson show watcher. So for those of you who may be, if you're watching, obviously this video here and want to know what the tea is on Kelly Clarkson and the show itself, if you are, let me know what you think of it. I mean, is it great? I mean, I've seen, bits and pieces here and there over the years, obviously. And there's been some people on there that I have, got my interest, and I would watch, for the better part, I haven't really watched the show, really got into it too much. I don't know if talk shows are as popular as they used to be back in the day, but for the most part, there isn't that many left where there used to be slews of them back in the day. So yeah, that's what it's looking like so far. And I guess the scriptedness of maybe some of the words that were said at that statement, maybe felt more like a farewell speech than it felt like a, hey, we just hit 1,000 marks and we're going to keep trudging on. And of course, knowing more about the situation with their family and the splitting of that situation, and just feeling that they're very young kids and she wants to spend time with them. And that's very obviously understandable. So yeah, we'll just have to see how that goes, right? But they're already apparently looking at a list. Somebody's looking at a list of who could actually replace her already. So, there goes the whole concept of, hey, I want to fight for you. Or maybe this list is coming from somewhere else. But nevertheless, we're going to check into it and figure out where it's coming from, right? All right. So this sharing comes to us by way of the New York Post. And it says, Hoda is on the list to replace Kelly Clarkson as host of NBC daytime talk show. Now, if you might not recall, or you might recall, depending on if you've been here for a while, I actually did a video a few months back, some months ago. It must have been in the last year, because I think she ended her time on Today in January of this year. But I did a whole video on Hoda and the fact that she had made the announcement that she was leaving there. And it was always kind of wondering, what was she going to do next? Wouldn't this be interesting if there's been some other things been in the works for a while, and this might have been what that next was going to be? Well, we'll just have to see, I guess. All right. So the sharing says former Today co-host Hoda is on the list of candidates to replace NBC daytime talk show host Kelly Clarkson, paving the way for a possible comeback just months after her surprise exit, the Post has learned. Now, Hoda, who stunned fans when she stepped down in January, is firmly on the network's radar as rumors swirl that Clarkson wants to leave her eponymous show, according to an NBC insider. There's a long list of names, and Hoda is part of that list, said the source. NBC never wanted Hoda to leave. The question is, would Hoda want to do it? Clarkson's contract is up next year. It's not clear when Hoda or another replacement would take over the show should the pop singer decide to walk away. So pop, not country, I guess. Meanwhile, the original American Idol winner is embarking on a big year for her music career. Okay, so she wants to go back to the roots. All right, well, hey, I mean, I dig it. She is releasing a 9th album in June under her own label, before launching a new Las Vegas residency from July 4th to August 16th, with additional shows from November 7th to the 15th. Now, one thing about Kelly, I think she's a great singer, so I think this really does go up her alley. So, all right, kudos for her. It says if the album doesn't do well, she might want to keep her talk show, the source said, but she has a lot going on and the timing may be right for the next chapter. NBC, Clarkson, and Hoda did not return requests for comment. So no one of the three who've been asked, hey, is any of this true, has come back and said a statement just quite yet. And I kind of feel like we would know something maybe a little bit closer to when something actually is taking place. So yeah, lots to discuss on that, right? Or if they're going to keep it as that time slot in that situation as a talk show altogether. And do you think Hoda would be a good fit for being her own single? Now she was, doing, what was that with Jenna Bush on Today? So she's always been kind of the co-thing, but she's been in the business for a really long time. So now it'd be her carrying her own show, much like Sherry Shepherd is carrying her own, and how she had been previously on, panels and that kind of stuff, talk shows. So it'd be interesting to see if how this would work for Hoda, and this would be a natural fit for her. And I believe, if I'm not mistaken, I think that the show may potentially. Oh, I don't know if it's filmed in New York or if it's filmed in California and LA. So I guess that could, be a contention piece as well. Anyways, the source said NBC bosses are looking for a recognizable host who already has a following, and being a diverse candidate wouldn't hurt. Yes, would not hurt Hoda's chances either. And I like that about that. Hoda ticks a lot of boxes. Yes. She's interesting. Okay, so they're really going to go down the list of her boxes she ticks. So let's get into it. She's Egyptian, apparently. Older Kelly Clarkson, the first source said. So she's older and Egyptian. So those are two speaking points, I guess. Aside from Hoda, a slew of personalities who filled in as hosts over the years, like Wanda Sykes, Willie Guy, Smalley Sims, Roy Wood Jr., and Josh Groban, are also on the list, the insider added. Interesting. Now, I don't know about the rest of the people, but I know Wanda Sykes, she stays pretty busy with TV shows and such. So I would be interested in watching a show. She actually was to do an everyday show like that, a talk show. I'd be into it. Another source suggested that former Today Weekend anchor Maria Shriver could be in the running. The Kennedy has been publicizing her new book, I Am Maria. Okay, that's interesting. But Hoda could be tempted to return to the anchor chair because she would not have to jockey for the limelight with a co-host. The affable anchor who joined NBC in 1998 is well liked by higher ups at the network and has many of the top execs on speed dial, the first source said. Now, Hoda left Today, which she co-hosted with Savannah Guthrie. That's it, Savannah Guthrie, for 7 years in order to spend more time with her ailing young daughter and to work on her own wellness brand. The crazy hours required to host a morning show and worn on Hoda and her family. The person said, noting that she would be up at 3 a.m. every morning to host the show. Compared to today, a daytime talk show would be a cakewalk, the source added. A talk show is good for a mom, the source said, explaining that the taping schedule for the show is more condensed. The show tapes 2 shows a day, one at 11 a.m. and one at 3 p.m. Its airtime differs depending on the market. In New York and Chicago, it airs at 3 p.m., while Los Angeles, it airs at 2 p.m. Clarkson has apparently tired of her schedule and will stepping away to spend more time with her children, the Post previously have reported. Kelly's number one priority, again, is her children, and they will always be, what Industry Insider said at the time. And the show was grueling. It's a whole lot of work, and I will hear that Kelly would like to spend more time down south. Now, ratings for the Kelly Clarkson show have steadily declined. Okay, so here we go. Since its launch in 2019. Yeah, because there was a huge push to make this work. But, on the last sharing, it said that it was doing really well. So, okay, let's get into it. The show drew an average of 1.2 million viewers this season compared to the 1.9 million when it debuted. The program has won 22 daytime Emmys and still holds its own against other top daytime talk shows, including The View, Today with Jenna and Friends, and NBC News Daily. Now, since Hoda left Today and was replaced by Craig Melvin, the show has slipped in the ratings. Before her exit, the show had an average of just under 2.8 million total viewers. And in the months since she's left, ratings have averaged around 2.7 million total viewers. Now, one thing, though, about Craig Melvin, though, too, he is a known quantity also. So this could be just some growing pains, but I guess we'll see as time goes on. With viewership in March and April dipping into the 2.5 million to 2.6 million range, well, there may be a potential there that they might be going through a steady decline as well. Now, meanwhile, Hoda, other NBC show Today with Hoda and Jenna, that's what I thought, she was on there with Jenna as well. So she did 2 slots, 2 different spots there. All right, so I thought she was with Jenna, which aired at 10 a.m., had an average around 1.3 million total viewers, and it was renamed Jenna and Friends. The program, which is hosted by Jenna Bush Hager, along with a rotation of guest hosts, is bringing in between 1.1 and 1.2 million viewers. So that's a bit of a dip, but I guess it's pretty good considering they still haven't found a co-host for her. Maybe they're trying to see if this rotating situation will work long term. Well, who knows? And there might be a situation where, certain shows and certain platforms are dipping in certain areas. People do get, interested and disinterested as quickly as the day changes into night. And so it could be just one of those things where, people are maybe not just be watching too much and are looking for other things to take a look at, or maybe just tired of some of the things that we have already seen. And we're looking for something a little bit more fresher, a little newer. So I guess we'll see how that all works out. Now, of course, with the situation at hand where there's already a list apparently being made and people being looked at as potential replacement for Kelly, and then her potential rumored potential possibility of looking to leave the show. Well, of course, if any of those things are just rumor based, that's one thing. But if they start to take hold a little bit, I can see how people would be very much concerned about their jobs, especially in the climate we are in today. So let's go ahead and get into the final part of this video that talks about how the staff apparently is reportedly feeling about the brewing changes that could be coming their way. So let's go ahead and get into it. Now, that sharing is coming from She Knows and Newsbreak. So apparently Kelly Clarkson's staff is reportedly reaching a breaking point over the show's future. Is Kelly Clarkson staying or leaving her daytime show? Apparently her staff on the Kelly Clarkson show would like an answer sooner versus later after her on again, off again appearances this past spring. The rumors have been swirling for months after that the 43-year-old talk show host was going to leave at the end of her contract in 2026, which has left her crew stressed about their employment situation. A producer on the show commented to the Daily Mail about their current state of mind, not feeling too stable. She could bolt at any time. And where does that leave me? Now, Clarkson is beloved by her staff, but they seem to be hoping that she decides soon, especially since she seems to want to focus on music. And at a May 9th Atlantic City concert, she told the New Jersey audience via Page 6, "We haven't done a show in a while, y'all, because I have a talk show. It's like a whole other job. We are bummed because we love doing shows and it's hard to fit it in. So it's cool when it does work out with the schedule, and it's cool to get to see your faces and feed off y'all." It feels like Clarkson has one foot out the door, which has only fueled the speculation that Hoda is going to swoop in and save the day. If Kelly is unhappy, then she should move on, the crew member told the Daily Mail. Oh, wow. Okay. Like, let's go. We would all understand if Hoda wants to do it, it could be a win-win for everyone. And how nice it is if you have one person that you like leaves and the person replaces actually someone else that you like, because that doesn't always happen. Usually, sometimes the person that you leave, if you like them, the next one coming in is an asshole. And then the one sometimes that you don't like, sometimes ain't much better when they come in. It just depends how that works. So for them to be able to find somebody that they like and can agree upon, that's pretty cool. All right, so let's get into it. Apparently, Des Moines even entered the Clarkson Hoda chat on May 25th with a report that an official announcement can supposedly be expected next week. Oh, that's pretty quick. They pointed out that Clarkson wanted to leave the show to focus on her music, possible touring, and other projects, paving the way for Hoda to take over. Wow, they're already putting her down. And I don't think there were other people that they said on the last sharing that they were looking at considering. I don't think that's on the table. I think Hoda is the radar connected one here. Now, Hoda apparently had left the Today Show, which, we covered that already. Because she wants to spend time with her daughters, of course. One of her daughters having experiencing some issues that she wanted to be there for. But they did say that January 6th episode of the Kelly Clarkson show that she was pivoting to the lifestyle sector of the news business. So apparently she herself went on as a guest on the Kelly Clarkson to share what her new thing is. So how funny and climactic that is, right? In a situation where she may be sitting talking to the host of the show that she may potentially be sitting on that other side. So who knows? Apparently a lot of people, it's time for a shift and change, and that's okay too. She says, "I'm starting a wellness app and company that will involve retreats and a podcast and all kinds of things that we can get together to do things that I love," Hoda explained. "It's not like going to Mexico with your girls, which is fun, but this is something that when you leave, you'll go like, oh my gosh, I feel transformed. I feel different." Now, Hoda teased a May 28th announcement on her Instagram page, so it seems like the app, not the daytime show, takeover would be the big news. Clarkson has remained silent about her possible exit, but it sounds like her staff would like her have to, the ability to give them more concrete answers now. Not now, but right now. And I mean, that's honestly to be expected. I mean, no one wants to feel like they're in limbo. No one wants to be in flux. Nobody wants to feel that they can't count on whatever they need to count on for, whatever their bread and butter is and whatever allows them to be able to put food on the table and have a roof over their head. And, sometimes with these talk shows, as we have seen with the transferring over of Wendy Williams' show then to becoming now Sherri Shepherd, not everybody from Wendy Williams' show, as far as, the people who were about putting the show together, all made it over to Sherri Shepherd's team. And so that's a real thing, right? And sometimes people don't really think about that. Sometimes they assume, oh, well, if you're just going to insert a new host there, that means everybody's going to stay in place. Why would you need to change anything? Well, there's that situation where sometimes, people prefer that they have people they would like to work with or like to see them in different areas. Maybe they also feel like it's easier to have a cleaner break if certain individuals have now been switched out. So that way it really does become a fresh new show. And I don't know if this would be the same for Hoda's situation or if they will even keep the show all together. I mean, there's still, I think, an opportunity there where they may decide to not go with keeping the talk show, maybe turning that time frame into something else, but who knows? I would love to know your thoughts though. Would you be interested in a talk show revamp of the Kelly Clarkson show called the Hoda Show? And would you be watching? If you are not necessarily interested in watching it now, would that make you watch it? Do you miss Hoda? I mean, I don't watch Today very often, but I know that she was, a really great asset. And for the time that I saw her in interviews and doing other things, I think that she was probably a really, a great host to have. And just her energy was so good and uplifting. Now, Kelly's energy is good as well, too. But sometimes it's just about what works for you. And at this point, they both have 2 sets of young kids. So, that's not really going to be the total issue, right? It's just going to be depending on what she can fit in. Now, with all these new things that she's got going on, I don't know if she would be interested in doing a whole talk show as well. So I guess time will tell if that will be her or if Kelly will even leave in the first place, right? But it seems to me that things are going to be really, really looked at with an eagle eye as we get closer and closer to nearing of 2026, because as of right now, we're really about to approach mid-year of 2025. So, time is really of essence at this point. And I can see how people would be very anxious as to what they need to be concerned with, because even if they do get somebody they think would be a great fit, doesn't necessarily mean that they'll stay in that position. So it's up in the air no matter which way you look at it, I think. But that being said, I think that'll about do it for this video. I am so glad that you were here to hang out with me today. And of course, this will wrap up the video for the day of uploads. And so it's been a good day. And so I'm just glad that you're here again to hang out with me. Of course, I want to know your thoughts. So definitely make sure you leave them down below. I also had dropped 2 videos earlier on the platform, so you had that opportunity to check those out. Make sure that you do so, okay? Definitely want to know your thoughts on those. There is a potential reboot happening for a very beloved late 80s, early 90s show that definitely you should check out that video. And also, too, I did an update video to the Smokey Robinson legal situation that's going on right now in regards to his abuse lawsuit that has commenced for him. And so there's a great update there for information about what's currently going on with that situation. And so definitely make sure you check those out and let me know your thoughts in the comment section. And definitely keep your all notification bells on so that way you don't miss any of my future uploads, because I will be uploading here real soon. And I want to make sure that I get your thoughts on those videos. I'd like to share mine. So of course, also too, if you are new here and you haven't had an opportunity to hit the subscribe button, I hope that you will and be part of the family. I would so love to have you. If you appreciate the updates, go ahead and give the video a like as well. I would so appreciate that. It definitely helps out the video and getting it around to people who, might be interested in the particular areas that we're covering here. And also too, for those of you that are already part of the family, you know what it is. Thank you so much for your continued viewing and listening support. I so do appreciate it. And so with that, I'm going to bid you adieu. And I hope you do well. I hope that this day finds you doing well. This evening is finding you doing well, no matter where or what time that you are actually viewing this video, of course. So you take care and be safe, be blessed, and I'll see you next time. Bye.